Namaste everyone. We are talking about the analysis of India based on Vastu and numerology. Today's topic is about India. Now, India, as you know, is one of the most ancient civilizations in the world. Other cultures or civilizations like Lemuria, Atlantis, all these Roman, Greece, all these ancient civilizations have come to an end. Indian civilization is the only civilization which is still continuing since millenniums, centuries. So, what makes this country special and what makes this country stand out among a host of other countries? Let's take a look at it from the Vastu perspective. This is a different perspective from the regular analysis based on astrology. So, here we talk about the shape of the country, the numerological values of the names of different states in the country, and the entire planet Earth, uh, the energies of the planet Earth, and how they impact each country. This time we are talking about India. Now, if we go into a detailed analysis of the world map, we see that India is the only country in the world which has a lot of water in the south. So that vast expanse of water is not there in any other country because that any other country is blocked by other countries. This is the only country which is open except for a few small islands which hardly block the energies. So this is the case of only this country. And even Nostradamus predicted that the country with land, with water on three sides will be the ruling country, the country which takes care of the rest of the world in terms of spiritual matters, in terms of material benefits. So gradually, in very presence, the country is evolving to become a superpower. And that is very evident the way we are moving forward. Now, this is because of the energies which are existing in the world, on planet Earth. Now, when we talk about Earth, we're talking about a lot of magnetic energies entering into the North Pole from the North Pole into the Earth. Now, these energies of extraterrestrial energies as well as the energies caused by the rotation of the Earth. So these two types of energies enter into the Earth from the northeast, and that's why northeast sector of the planet Earth is considered to be very powerful. A lot of energies come in from there. Now, these energies move through the planet and go towards the south. That's because of the Cerealist forces and different forces which act on the Earth because of the rotation. And once they reach the south, they go underground into the South Pole and then they start traveling again back to the North Pole to complete the circuit of magnetic energies. This, as children, we have already studied in our very beginning of our studies that every magnet has two poles, north and south, and they complete a circle or they complete a circuit. And then the energies keep moving from north to south and from within the magnetic bar, they move from south to north. So this energies which are coming from the South Pole are magnetizing the country and making it powerful. Now, a lot of people, especially Vastu consultants, say that India has the Himalayas in the north and south has a lot of water, so it's not having good Vastu. I would contradict this because though the Himalayas are in the north, compared to the water element in the south, the Himalayas are not having that much of a mass. And when we see magnetism from the scientific perspective, the South Pole energies are entering only into this country in such a abundance, in such abundant manner, because there's no blockage by other countries. And it's far away from the South Pole, and that's why it has maximum energies flowing into it. This is very, very important. So the Vastu of the country is not bad. We had a bad period because of the bad karma which we created because of various wrong practices, like, for example, sati and untouchability and so on and so forth. So we are coming out of that bad current, and then we are going on towards the ascending cycle, and we will again become one of the preeminent countries in the world, guiding every other country towards prosperity and spiritual development. Now let us go into the details of this analysis. Numerology is very important. Now, our country was known as India only in recent times. Before, it was earlier called as Bharat. Since ancient times, it has been known as Bharat. Even Bharat Khanda, the entire continent, was also called Bharat, and the country was called Bharat. So this is an ancient name which India still uses. Even in the constitution, India is also referred to as Bharat, even in our constitution. Now let us see the effect of these two words numerologically. Now when you add up India, it comes to three, which is power and knowledge. So we are becoming powerful, we are becoming more knowledgeable. In my opinion, the Indian race is very, very knowledgeable. For us, it's very easy to grasp things compared to other races. And we are very intuitive, we are also very intelligent. And gradually, as we see, we are becoming more and more powerful compared to other countries. Sometimes by default, the COVID actually has made us more powerful than the other countries. So things like that, which are not even intentional, have made us come up into the limelight because we took steps to help other countries, and that has helped us. Now, if you see India, the hidden meanings inside that, when we redo the words, the alphabets, we get different meaningful words. And it can be in any language, but because English is largely spoken over the world, the English meanings are taken into consideration for the analysis. It could be any other language like Hindi, it could be Marathi, it could be Gujarati. All those meanings also play a role in the analysis of a country or a place. This is how immense the meanings can be. I mean, it can be in even say Arabic or French. So the meanings do hold good. For our analysis, we are talking in terms of English and maybe some of the Devanagari languages. So we have aid and is a pause. So we have been giving aid to others during COVID crisis, and this is a double meaning. It could be that we need aid from some other countries. Like, for example, when we created Bangladesh, we got help from the Soviet Union. So that country came to help us out during that crisis. Otherwise, we would have to actually withdraw from Bangladesh because the US ships were also there in the Bay of Bengal threatening us with action if we do not vacate Bangladesh. So because the Soviet Union helped us, we were able to liberate Bangladesh from Pakistan. So similarly, we have DIN, we have DNA, we have NDA, National Defense Academy. So DNA in our blood, that's very important. One of the most important parts of the chromosome is DNA and RNA. So it's part of our existence that we have. India has that meaning, so that's important. Now, if you take the other word, it's Bharat. The number comes to 6, which is lots of love, lots of money, and help from others. Especially when you have a compound number 15, it definitely shows that others go out of the way, other countries, other people go out of the way to help us evolve. Like whatever has happened in China because of the COVID crisis has in fact helped India get more business from other countries and has helped us grow financially compared to other countries. Now let's see the hidden meanings. Art. Bharat, we are artistic. Arabs. Arabs have a huge uh, linkage with India, and the zero numeral also has come from India to the Arabs, and they have spread it to the whole of the Western world. So Arabs are inherently a civilization, a culture which is uh, in relation with India, with Bharat. They have always been related to us. Ahar is food, bat, brat, bar, bahar, bra, then har, hat, har, hara, hara is energy, tara, name of a lady or star, tab. We keep tabs on other countries. Tar, tar is taro, It can be tarring or mitigating or giving us a bad name. That also is an indication. So people can tarnish our name. Now let us go into details of uh, some places in India. Now, why I say that there is a crisis brewing is because of the names which we have for our capital. For example, New Delhi, the capital of the entire country. That is why a lot of people still feel that we should shift our capital from Delhi to the south. Now, we'll talk about capital cities in detail again. But the hidden meaning right now in Delhi is die. If you redo the words, we are getting die, due, din, a lot of noise. DHL, there was a huge controversy over DHL, one of the real estate developers. ED, ED, Enforcement Directorate, hide, led, lie, lied, new, because it's New Delhi, nil. So this country, this city is going to be affected during the war. There's a war going to come up and Delhi will be attacked. So my advice is whoever can shift from Delhi to the south, it's time to shift. The moment there is some border skirmish, it's better to shift. Have a second home, not towards the north of India, but towards the south or central India. Do not go to the coastal areas also, but try to get a second home where you can reside and stay. Haryana, 7. Spiritual material conflict. Aryan, Hara, Ryan, Yaran. So this Haryana is RNA also. Now let's see Dehradun. Here we have 5. Media, travel. So it will come into the limelight. It's done. Dar. There is fear. Han. Now, if we see Han is one of the ethnic groups, the Han community is one of the ethnic groups of China. In fact, it is the most dominant community in China. The entire Chinese country is ruled by the Hans. The Han dynasty was also quite distinct. So when you get the hidden meaning Han, it means China as a hand in that area. So Dehradun could be and will be attacked by China. Uttarakhand, the state where Dehradun is the capital, it comes to 8. So there is a lot of bad karma for Uttarakhand. Earlier it was called Uttaranchal. That was a much better name than the current name. So gradually, as people understand the effect of a name, they will start changing the names and then make them better names. So this is what we need to do. So you have a lot of fear and again Chinese, then can't run. So people will run out of the state because we'll be attacked in this area and we have a border with China. So obviously there is a chance, a very high chance of conflict between the two. Haridwar, one of the main temple towns of India. If you see the hidden meaning, it clearly shows war, arid. So though it has river Ganges, it can go dry because of the bombing, the fear. So Hindi, English, we have mixture of meanings and raid. So it will be attacked. So this is how we decide in advance which areas will be attacked and then we can take protective action accordingly. So this is where the government should consider our ancient Ank Shastra or numerology and then increase our defenses accordingly. Now, one of the main cities in the country, because it's the capital of a union territory, Chandigarh itself, and 2 states, that is Punjab as well as Haryana. So what is the analysis for this? It comes to 3, which is power and knowledge. Everyone knows that Chandigarh is a powerful place, a knowledgeable place. The citizens are very cultured and knowledgeable. Now see this. We have drain, we have grind, we have dar, we have darga. So it could be attacked by uh, by Chinese also because of Han, as well as Muslim. There could be a Hindu-Muslim conflict or a Hindu or a Sikh and Muslim conflict. Idka is also there because we are heading towards a civil war-like situation also, as well as a world war-like situation. And it is very evident that the whole world is moving towards armaments and agony. Now, similar comes to 8, which is a lot of bad karma, which has ash. So that is what it is. Lash. So Simla also will be affected. Himachal Pradesh, we have, it comes to 6, so a lot of money, but it is rash, crash, die, mad. So Himachal will also be attacked because it is very near to Kashmir, it's very near to uh, Tibet. So the chances of getting attacked, this is how we analyze in advance which areas are prone to unrest and attacks. So Himachal is one of the places which will be attacked by Chinese. It's not far. The attacks have already happened before, but what will happen now is going to be at a larger scale. So we have to be prepared for them. Jammu and Kashmir. Now, as we know, Ladakh is no longer part of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir is now a union territory. It comes to one, which is leadership. Now here we have Amir, rich people, ash. So there is a lot of misery, there is a lot of death, harsh, alas. So there'll be a lot of misery, mash, sick. So Kashmir has sick. And see how the whole thing is interlinked. It was ruled by the Sikhs, and everyone knows that. Kashmir was one of the states ruled by Sikhs for quite some time. So this is so evident, and that is where hidden meanings make a big difference in understanding a place or a person. Now let us see Srinagar. What is Srinagar to do? 18, 9, aggressive, dynamic. Srinagar is in sin, and we know that Srinagar was a hub of terrorism, especially Lal Chowk area. So you have Agra in it, and we all know that Shah Jahan is to take ice cubes, ice blocks, and ship them to Agra and to Delhi so that he is cool and enjoying uh, some protection from the hot winds and hot climate of Agra and Delhi. So the elephants is to pull ice blocks all the way to Agra and see how that is shown here in the hidden meaning. So Singh, it's a very cultured place, but then at the same time, there has been a lot of sins occurring in this place. So now we go to Ladakh. It is 7, which is spiritual and material conflict. And Lad had a dark. Lad is evident in Ladakh. So if you see Leh, it's coming to 4, which is bad karma. So Leh also will be attacked. And Ladakh will obviously be attacked because it is very near to the border. And one of the main conflicts between India and China as of now is because the state, Jammu and Kashmir, have been divided into two, Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. So the Chinese, because this is Aksai Chin area and this is POK and Baltistan. So these areas are prone to war because the Chinese aggression is out here. They are very keen on, they already have a highway going from Aksai Chin to uh, uh, the Ugir part of China, Tibet, the China. So their intentions are not uh, honest, not good. So Ladakh also will be attacked. Now let us see uh, the countries around us just for analysis. Afghanistan, it comes to one, leadership. So you can see gradually it is turning out to be a leader in the Muslim world, especially in the uh, southeast part of the Middle East, because it is like a gateway to the Central Republic, Central Asian countries and India. So this has a very important role to play in future. Now let us see the hidden name, Agas, Ash, Asha. So they have a lot of regard for Indians, but we have Han here again. See how Hanization of different countries happens. So that means China is involved 100% in Afghanistan. This is how we can come to know who will be interested in a particular country. Satan in sin. So Afghanistan also has had a lot of bloodshed, a lot of bad karma accumulated. Kabul, where they have changed the name to Kabul, which is six. So automatically things have changed, and there's a lot of conflict, of course, between Kabul and Pakistan. But gradually, other countries have started accepting them because they have changed the spelling of their country, of their capital. And Kabul also was in the media. So whether it is good news or bad news, number five will always be in the news. So this is very important. Baku is also BAKE. Baku is also involved in Kabul. Baku, as we know, is one of the flashpoints for conflict. Now let's see our dear friend Islamabad. Now, this is where I want to bring to your attention the capital cities of a country. Now, if you see New Delhi, Delhi, it's to the south of Islamabad and to the south. It is to the south and to the south of Afghanistan, Kabul. So that means the more your capital goes to the south, the more powerful that country is. Like if you remember, we have always won a war against Pakistan. We have also won one of the wars against China. The 62 war we lost, but the 67 war, we gave them a befitting reply. And that is why they have not attacked us ever since for quite some time till Z came into the picture. So Tibet is also in a recessive position compared to New Delhi. Beijing is also in a recessive position because it is to the northeast of Delhi. So Delhi is also, if you see the world map, Delhi is also to the northeast, south of a lot of countries, including the capital of US, the capital of Canada, Russia, the European Union, and a lot of African countries and Mediterranean countries. So it has an influence over all these countries because in the northern hemisphere, New Delhi is more to the south as compared to other capital cities. So dominance-wise, India is dominating over China, it's dominating over Mongolia, Russia, and the domination can be seen gradually. It is evolving to be a powerful uh, uh, country and which has a say over world matters. And this is very, very evident. Of course, countries down south in the southern hemisphere are not really under much control of India, but we have a friendly relation with them. Now, this is where it's important. India lost the war with Sri Lanka because Colombo is to the south of New Delhi. So this is where a capital city makes a big difference. If you see even Vietnam, Laos and Vietnam, Vietnam is such a small country, but they were able to defeat China because the capital is to the south of China. Now, Chinese also know about this. They have learned Vaastu. They understand. That is why they have come to Hambantota, which is a port to the south of Sri Lanka. It is even more to the south of Colombo. So they have Colombo in a vice-like grip. This is very important for us to understand and analyze the country. So India will not only be attacked from the west, from Pakistan, and from the east, northeast, via Tibet, but it will also be attacked from the south, from Sri Lanka, from Hambantota. So this is very, very important for us to understand strategy from the Vastu point of view. Now, in ancient times, the Vastu consultant was also a military advisor to the king. Based on the Vastu, the consultant would tell the king whether a country will get defeated and where to attack it, from which side, and when. So all these are important. Now let us go to one of the main countries in the world, China, which has become very, very powerful, very aggressive. The hidden meaning CIA is very obvious in China. And CIA and, of course, Han are part and parcel of China. So even the COVID problem is partly because of US. They have to admit that, see, Chinese as a country, as a civilization are not very, very intelligent. They are very hardworking. They're good copycats. They can copy anything and then reproduce it. More like a spastic child. They keep on doing what they are asked to do. But they are not innovative. They cannot invent anything. Even the atom bomb was, the nuclear blueprints were given to them, handed over to them by Nixon just to uh, keep Russia at bay and Soviet Union at bay. So this is how CIA has infiltrated China and has a lot of influence over China. At the same time, China, the Han dynasty is very, very powerful in China. That is the ruling party. Everybody who is a Han has some power. Others are almost relegated to the border. China has six in number, lots of love from a lot of countries, lots of money and help from others. Of course, it has misused the affection of others, and then that is why people have started going against China. So when you do something bad, you get the bad effects immediately, especially nowadays. Tibet. When you see Tibet, it comes to suddenly. Again, a spiritual material conflict, just like Ladakh. And if you see, it is dire. That is why Tibet is always under dispute, always subjugated by some other country. So this is very important. This is where we understand why that country is suffering under bondage, under occupation for so long. It's very, very clear. There's a time, there's a resolution deficit, deficiency. Now let us see Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. Again, Han and four, bad karma. It was bombed, it was attacked. The Kotla palace was bombed. So all this, Sala, of course, is an Indian word for brother-in-law. So Lhasa is a Sala for India. A lot of Tibetans consider themselves as Indians, not Chinese. And I've been to Tibet 4 times. I organize Kailas Mansara Yatras. So I know that the local population is more in favor of India rather than China. And in future, we'll be splitting China into 4 parts. Tibet will be free, and the probability of Tibet joining India, just like Assam and Sikkim have joined India, is very, very high. Now let's see Sikkim, bad karma again. Kim, what does this mean? North Korea, Kim, the ruler of North Korea, has an eye on Sikkim. He might and can in, indulge in attacking Sikkim. Yantok, the capital of Sikkim. 7, spiritual material contact. Gang, gag, no. So Gantok can be destroyed. And gangs at war. TikTok, the talk part of talk. TikTok is a gag. There'll be a ban, blanket ban on media also. So this is how we come to know about a country. Bhutan, very, very important. See the Han word itself. So though for quite some time Bhutan was not influenced by Chinese, gradually we can see that it is becoming more Hanified. Han dynasty, the Chinese are having an influence on Bhutan. So this is how we analyze. Though it appears that Bhutan is still a friend of India, the hidden meaning Han clearly shows that it will support China and allow China to cross through Bhutan to attack India, especially the chicken neck area. Thimphu as a hump, pit. Of course, the Chinese will not leave Bhutan and uh, allow them to go scot-free. They will occupy Bhutan also. So though Thimphu has leadership, the leadership is directed towards China, and we can see the turnaround. And to get a more clear analysis of the countries around us, this part of the thing, let us see the next map. which is clearly showing Bhutan, Nepal, and Bangladesh together. If you see all these three countries together, they are like the shape of a gun pointing towards Uttarakhand, pointing towards Himachal Pradesh. And the trigger is around the chicken's leg. So this is very, very important. These countries, Nepal included, Bangladesh included, will see. Han is clearly there in Bangladesh, H-A-N. So China will influence Bangladesh. This is very, very important. Military analysis can understand from the military point of view, but from the numerology point of view and from the Vaastu point of view, the hidden meanings tell us which country will be supporting which country. So though they are India friendly, gradually it is becoming China friendly. And together these three countries will have a role to play over attacking India because they cannot tolerate India growing so far. Though they are friendly with India, it is a superficial friendship. Now, when we talk about the rivers and the influence of rivers from the Vastu perspective, things will become more clear. Now, let us go back to this map where we are talking about numerology. We have covered the western part, we have covered Pakistan, we have covered Bangladesh. Now, this is Bangladesh out here. So, so each country has an effect over the adjoining countries. Of course, we have Tripura on one side of Bangladesh and West Bengal on the other side of Bangladesh. And Bangladesh is going to play a major role in the world war. Unfortunately, it will get destroyed. It will become a part of India. India will occupy it. In the beginning, Chinese will influence it, but gradually we'll be winning over China. Don't forget, we are to the south of China, so we'll always be more powerful compared to China. Myanmar, Maya, Miraj, Burma. So this country also will be in the limelight for wrong reasons. Andaman and Nicobar. When we're considering the Vastu of a place, we have to consider all the peripheral parts of the country. So that is why if you see this imaginary rectangle, it goes through Lakshadweep and it goes through our Andaman Nicobar. And this is the circle of influence of our country. That is how we base the Brahmastan of a country. So the Brahmastan is not Nagpur, which we generally think is, but it is somewhere in Chhattisgarh beyond Raipur. So I've also analyzed some more cities. This is the capital of Maharashtra. Mumbai, as we know, was Bombay before, bombed at bay. Even in 1919, there was a naval bomb blast in Bombay. So there were always bombs at bay when the name was Bombay. Even mob violence, all that. The moment the name changed to Mumbai, Mum, Bai is a Marathi term for lady. The Bai became quiet. And though it appears to be quiet, the number comes to 9, which is rash, aggressive, and dynamic. So there'll be a lot of rashness, and there'll be a lot of aggression, there'll be a lot of bloodshed in Mumbai. The hidden meanings are Bum and Mum, quiet. Home is also there. It is a very spiritual place. It was created by Lord Parashurama by shooting one of the arrows which falls at Balganga, creating Balganga. So Mumbai is a very spiritual place. So that is why the hidden meaning also shows that. So this is one aspect of this thing. Maharashtra is too very emotional. There will be a lot of destruction in Maharashtra. So we have ash, we have ash, Hab, Har, Rashtra, rash, smash, rats. So this is how we understand a particular state or a particular city. Now, Benjamin, the capital of Goa, emotional again. Will be in a jab, pain, in Benjamin. Will be caught napping, will be nipped off. So this is where Benjamin will also be attacked. Goa is emotional. Go. So this shows us. I'm not going into too much of details because each city or each uh, state has a particular shape, has a particular uh, numerological value, and all those things affect that particular state. But this is how we understand a particular country or a region. Now, this we have already discussed. This was highlighted just to show that attack is imminent from these countries because China will invade through these countries and then attack India. And now we go to another important part of Vastu analysis, which is the flow of rivers, the direction of flow, and the location of the rivers makes a very big difference in the country's future. Now, if you see, most of the rivers in the north have originated from the Himalayas, and some of the big rivers are from the Kailash Mansarovar region. I've been here 4 times, so I know this region a little better than most people. So we have Satluj following the Lion River flowing from here. We have Brahmaputra flowing from here. We also have Indus, one of the longest rivers, flowing from here. And we have other rivers like, Satluj. So this is important. Now let us see the flow of Brahmaputra. We're talking about Tibet. Why Tibet was occupied? If you see Tibet, though, of course, there are other rivers in Tibet which originate from Tibet, like the Yellow River and all, which go towards the southeast of China. So that is why Tibet is very important for China because of the rivers in Tibet. Most of the rivers originate in Tibet. And why Tibet has been occupied is because if you see Tibet, the river Brahmaputra is flowing to the south of Tibet, but it's moving from southwest to southeast, which shows aggression, which shows occupation, which shows a lot of bloodshed. So, of course, the Chinese called it Yarnum. I've been through the Brahmaputra. It goes through Lhasa, uh, and that is why Lhasa is subjugated, the capital of Tibet. And at one juncture, it just turns 90 degrees and then flows into India. So from north, it's moving to south in India. That is why this area, Arunachal Pradesh, where we have other rivers like Subansri, which is again moving from Tibet to India, but from south to east, south to southwest to southeast of Arunachal Pradesh. So Arunachal Pradesh will be attacked, definitely attacked by China. It was already attacked before. Now, if you see the capitals of our states, they are at an advantage because they are more to the south compared to Beijing. So, though China will attack us, eventually, over a period of time, we will repel their attacks and then we will have an upper hand and we will eventually split the country into 4 parts and mostly Tibet will come back to India. Ancient times, Kailash and all was part of India, so it will come back to us, which is rightfully so. Now, if you see Nepal, why Nepal will play a crucial role in this World War III is because of the flow of the rivers. Again, the river is flowing from the Kailash Mansarovar region. I've been to this area, so I know. This Ghagra River eventually joins Ganga somewhere near Patna, and then uh, becomes a part of Ganges. So all these rivers are flowing from north to south, and then from south to southeast. And then Ganges itself, if you see Ganges, this is Ganges. It starts from near the Kailash region, which is of course Gangotri, but part of India. And then it goes down south. South means not South India, but to the south of the northern part. It goes down, and then Yamuna joins it. Yamuna is a tributary of Ganges, and then the Ganges flows towards the southeast. At Patna, it enlarges, and then Bihar is Har, and then it goes into Bangladesh. And then we have the delta of the Sundarbans. So if you see Bangladesh, the waters from the Brahmaputra as well as from Ganges are moving from north to south and from northwest to south. That indicates destruction. So Bangladesh already was attacked and then uh, created into a new country. It was actually India long back. It became East Pakistan, then it became Bangladesh, and soon it will become part of India again. The handwriting is clear. The rivers actually change our destiny. And with time, when the astrological period is not correct, the conflict increases, and then there will be a lot of bloodshed. So these rivers show that Bangladesh will be wiped out as a country, will be occupying Bangladesh. In the beginning, China will be occupying Bangladesh. Now let's see the same thing happening in Pakistan. So though we think that Pakistan is going to last forever, it's not going to last forever. These are temporary phases. With just 75 years old that Pakistan is created, whereas India is forever there. And Pakistan will again become part of India. Now let's see why from the Vastu perspective. Now here we have Indus going from the Kailash region, going from the northeast of India and moving up towards the north and then moving down towards the south once it enters Pakistan. Of course, we are talking about Gilgit, Pakistan and occupied few of Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Even there, the river is flowing towards the north, and then suddenly it takes a U-turn and then starts flowing down south. And the Panch Nadis, the five rivers, Bias, Chenab, Jhelum, and so on, join and become tributaries of Indus. And the Indus goes down till Karachi, and it's moving from northeast to southwest, southeast actually of Pakistan. And that is why Pakistan will not last as a country for long. It will just get disintegrated with Balochistan, Sindh, Punjab, and northwestern Pakistan. And we'll be occupying those areas. So this is how we decide about the, the existence of the country. Now, if we see central India, we have two rivers, the Tapi and the Narmada, moving from west to east, from east to west. These are the only two rivers which are flowing from east to west. The rest of the rivers like Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri are moving from west to east. Now, if you see Kaveri, why we have a lot of conflict over Kaveri and not other countries is because, of course, Tungabhadra is here. Krishna is a tributary, Tungabhadra is a tributary of Krishna, and then it goes to the east and flows up. But when you see Kaveri, it is moving, it starts in Karnataka and then moves down to Tamil Nadu. But from the northwest of Tamil Nadu, it is moving to the northeast of Tamil Nadu. So from approximately north, it's moving to south. That's why there's a conflict always between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu over the sharing of river waters of Kaveri. The same is not happening for rivers like Ponyan River and Polar River, because these are small rivers which, uh, though they originate from Karnataka, they are not uh, so important from the river waters distribution point of view. But Kaveri definitely is a flashpoint, and uh, this can again lead to conflict within India. The conflict will not only be between religions, it will also be between states because of water sharing. Water is very critical for existence, and during a war, the water storage, the water will be the main source of conflict. So this conflict between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka will increase because of water sharing. It's a grudge which is there for years and years, which cannot be wiped out so easily. So this is where we have to understand uh, how Vastu affects us. Colombo is to the south of New Delhi, the southeast actually, and southeast is the conflict region. So take it for granted that Sri Lanka will have a major role to play in attacking India. This is where we need to be careful about our so-called friends around us. Of course, we have our advantages. Spiritually, we are the most powerful country. Materially, also, we are becoming powerful. And we have a lot of energy coming from the south. So, Andaman and Nicobar are to the southeast. So, they will be attacked and they will attack because the Malacca Straits are nearby. So, they will play a major role in the war ahead. Lakshadweep, of course, is on the eighth parallel and all that. So, it also is going to be a flashpoint. Remember, the hidden means weep. So people in Lakshadweep will be weeping. There is ash here. There is a lot of bloodshed here because all these islands are critical for any country to have a say over the Indian Ocean region. So we'll discuss other countries like this gradually. But for today, this is our topic. In the whole world, we'll see how each country has a role to play in the coming future and how we are all moving towards a phase of destruction. For the next 10 years, there'll be warfare. After that, there'll be a short lull, and then we'll have a fourth world war uh, subsequent to the third world war. So this is the the days of peace are over. The decade of war has started. It started with COVID. So many people died, and it's not going to end with COVID. It's going to be a major conflict between different countries. And India, though it will suffer, it will emerge from the ashes and become the most powerful country because India love for every nation is more important, and we always share that love with other countries. And that is why our country has never got the way of Atlantis and Lemuria, because we know that for survival, love is important. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.